Hey guys, so to start off my YouTube channel officially, I thought I would actually get into doing or rounding off actually one of my fitness challenges. So what you'll probably see on the channel, if I haven't actually put it up by this point already, because ideally with this project, as the weeks are going on, I want to be releasing it little bit by bit, as well as at the end actually putting this as a whole documentary. But as you'll see hopefully on the channel, I've already done a 30-day fitness challenge, which involved me working with David, who was also a personal trainer. Then I did my 60-day fitness challenge, which involved me then buying the Insanity DVD set and doing the circuit training or the little exercises and stuff in my lounge at home, which I had a lot of people commenting on that and saying that they absolutely thoroughly enjoyed my sense of humour in that. To round off the actual 30-60 days challenges, I now actually want to do a 90-day fitness challenge. So although I don't think it kind of works out as 12 weeks, I think it kind of, yeah, something like that. But ideally for this one, I'm going to be working with Joe, who's a good friend of mine. We've known each other since like 15, 16. Something like that.
I turned 27 yesterday, so.
Yeah, like, join the club now. Yeah, you join the club with me. So that's cool. And so Joe has been a personal trainer for quite a few years now, really, haven't you?
Since 2009. I've been a personal trainer, so seen a lot of these types of transformations and people wanting to come in and do this, but Dan's very serious about doing this, so I'm excited to take Dan on it, and he knows he's going to have to work hard, not just because we're friends he's going to get an easy ride.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
He's going to come in 4 times a week to see me, which for everyone out there, I think, as we'll come on to, sort of 4 times a week leading into weights training, or at least going forwards weights training. That's not ideal.
What happened there? Is it on like a timer?
I guess, yeah, no, booze, I guess.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Slight malfunction there. I'll leave that in because I like that. So what has been interesting with the first 2 challenges, with the 30 and 60 day, is that I focused on the idea of getting myself slim and toned, but it had nothing to do with bulking. It was just literally all about slimming. There was nothing weird. Trying to eat more, it was probably more about eating less and stuff. But the idea with I think with this is like I really want to kind of bulk as much as possible, and the idea is to just get, which will probably be a big surprise to you, I want to just get incredibly ripped.
Yeah, well, with transformations, anyone that comes in, there's always factors that come into it, and we have to look at your body type, your previous training history, your current habits, and what you can change and what you will change. So it's very tough when someone comes in, and a lot of guys do just want to get big because they want to be big, want to bulk up. There's factors that go into it. What we have to look at your body frame and things like that. But what we're going to do is in that 12-week period, you give yourself enough of a chance to make drastic changes. And it's kind of like I don't always encourage these types of transformations myself. So if I know someone's going to do it, they have to be really serious, because obviously we want to see what we
I'm deadly serious about it.
Deadly serious. What we can see in this time frame, and I'm confident we can see a big change with a proper nutritional structure, which is very important, because I'm an expert when it comes to what we do in the gym, but outside of that, we have another expert on board, nutrition.
Yes, yeah. So it is worth mentioning that a little bit further down the line, I've actually also got a nutritionist involved to help me out with this. Because in fact, I'm sure like Joe will agree, when it comes to any kind of fitness, you have to have that balance of nutrition as well as doing all the exercising.
We have 2 sort of programs going side by side here. So you have the nutritional program, and then you have the gym program. So you're kind of getting both side by side to get the maximal result. Not just bits of nutritional information here and there and tiny bits. Do this and that. This is proper structure to your nutrition as well. And so if you do side by side, those 2 together, you're going to get
Yeah, it makes more of an impact on the body, I imagine.
We should say after 12 weeks see a real big change. And it's worth saying, why 12 weeks is important is, I say, Dan's not really done too much training recently. So even the first 2 to 4 weeks, we're going to look at sort of getting Dan back into training and making sure he can move properly, understands basics of how muscles work, how they activate, and stuff like this. So that takes a few weeks of education, and then before you go on to sort of the bigger stuff.
Yeah.
And then we have more time afterwards to build. So building, we start with building foundation, and then we build on top of that. And
so you kind of just start with, first of all, warming the body up, getting it used to, or getting ready for the heavier and more extreme stuff.
If someone comes to me and they can't do what I consider fundamental movements, such as pull-ups and press-ups, and do them properly, then I wouldn't be getting them onto certain weighted exercises. So certainly in the first few weeks, you're going to have to start to master the basics. And pull-ups and press-ups, basic planks and things like this.
Oh, it's gone out again.
You can edit this now.
People just think that we're having an epileptic fit. That's what we're doing.
And then just getting Dan moving, and then we, even towards the beginning, depends how quickly you adapt to these things, that we start introducing the weight. But you can see great changes just from handling your own body weight to start with as well.
Yeah.
And then we add weight on top of that. But certainly, if you've ever seen the Rocky movies, watch what sort of style of training he does. Pull-ups, dips, press-ups.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll make a montage out of all of this.
Squats and lunges.
Yeah.
It's worth saying those things never go out of fashion. They've been there for years and they work. And then when it comes to adding weights on top in terms of bodybuilding fashion, trying to maximise aesthetically your growth, then you start handling weights as well. That'll be the approach anyway going forwards, is mastering the basics, first few weeks, testing you out on those and see where your numbers are at in terms of how many good press-ups, how many good pull-ups, good dips, and things like that.
Yeah, because it's more about how you're doing the exercises properly. It doesn't matter. It's not so. It's more the
quality of movement is very important. And then we have other just learning to move as well. Just freedom of movement is important as well. Obviously, our main focus is putting on some muscle mass. So you have to take that into account. That is your main goal.
Yes.
Not necessarily moving like a ninja.
Yeah, it'd be kind of great to actually be considering the idea of bulking and putting the weight on. And I know just with using all the weights, that will actually start kind of shaping around the shoulders and the upper torso
anyway.
Moving is
important as well. If you're adding this mass, you want to be able to move with it. You don't just want to put on mass for the sake of it. So that's something we'll look at as well. We don't want to turn you into some robot.
Yeah, as much as like looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger would be kind of nice. I think I want to kind of go extreme with it, or at least kind of push my limits with it. But I don't want to look like I'm just like puffed up, filled with muscle, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say exactly where we'll get to, but we know we're going to see.
Yeah, well, for me, that's what's going to be the interesting
part.
part.
It's cool for you guys to see this project and see what we can do with Dan. It's worth saying Dan has trained before. So he's not a total newbie when it comes to weights training completely.
Yeah, and usually carrying around all my camera gear anyway does help.
Newbie, so again, you have to factor that into your results. Someone who's brand new to weights training might see a result quicker because it's a brand new stimulus to them. They've never experienced it. But you have been out of weights training for a while.
Yeah,
so we expect to see a good result. Because of that, he's going to get a big shock to the body. Especially, the body's going to not know what to do itself to begin with.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because when I did the 30-day with David, half the time was mostly just me getting used to all the weights. But then even in just those last 2 weeks, I still started seeing definition just on my chest, and if that was within just a month, then it'll be interesting what 12 weeks will actually do.
I always encourage continuous results. Over 12 weeks, we should see a nice progression towards our goal, and beyond that, after we finish with the project, you said you're looking to carry on.
Yeah.
Which is, again, I would just encourage people to look at the training as a life thing rather than just 12 weeks. But it's great to see what we can do. And
Yeah, so
in 12 weeks.
it's probably worth also mentioning that one of the reasons why I wanted to do these challenges was because just growing up, I was always very self-conscious of my body. I never liked the shape of it. I know when I was little I used to be very underweight, and it was a struggle to even put on weight. I think I've got a very high metabolism. But you know, the reason for me is that I want to kind of encourage other guys to go out, you know, get a personal trainer, or at least start doing some kind of fitness or eating right, if it's going to help them feel better about themselves, and it's going to make a difference to their own lifestyle.
Yeah.
You sort of see those guys who they have that kind of transformation, and they go from that kind of like skinny guy to becoming incredibly bulky and muscular, and they got all the women chasing after them and stuff. But for me, again, it's just kind of being proud of your own body and just going like I'm really happy with what I've done. I achieved this. I work for myself, because of course when people come to you as a client, they're not expecting you to do the workout for them. They're kind of, they're expecting you to kind of like be really harsh and mean to them and say, right, you're going to do 10 press ups, you're going to lift this weight, you're going to do this and that, and then ultimately, that's when they get that result. So I kind of like that shift in the mindset that actually everyone can get to wherever they want to go, and they can achieve whatever level that they want if they're just putting in the effort. So ideally, with the 30-day, it was interesting just to kind of see, well, in 30 days, if I put the effort in, I could actually achieve a particular result. That, okay, I didn't have a crazy amount of definition, but I looked better. I had people complimenting me. Yeah. And then with the 60-day challenge, although I didn't really, although I won't lie, I did get some tonality, but not as much as opposed to if I was using weights. But my fitness level had shot through the roof. Yeah. So ideally now, I want to kind of encourage guys that they can have that balance of both working out on their own at home, and as well as encourage them, hopefully, to see people like yourselves or other personal trainers. So ultimately, they can get that kind of fitness regime that they want on either a budget or on a light or kind of an amount of money that's suitable for them.
Yeah. So you touched upon psychology behind why you want to do it, and say people are very self-conscious of the image. So that's a large part of it, is they always see why you want to change, see a drastic change, which is great. As a trainer, I need to know, it's very important for you to know clients' reasons behind wanting to change, and whether I deem it possible for them to make that change. It's my job to provide the motivation. A lot of it is there.
I think that's why a lot of people go to personal trainers as well. It's not just you're going to have someone tell you what to do. It's the fact that you've got someone encouraging you, because you can't trust yourself to go out and do it. Otherwise, I guess it put a lot of personal trainers out of business.
I compete in certain competitions and strongman competitions, and I've followed programs before and had people design programs for me before. Or even just working out with a partner, it makes a huge difference to do it on your own.
It's that moral support, from what I can.
Yeah, you really feed off someone. You're there to feed off me in that sense. That I provide you with the education, the motivation, and then that's going to give you a boost each session, hopefully, when you come in. Because you might be dreading something, especially if you might be going,
yeah, I'm already kind of dreading some of the workouts that you're going to give me.
It's just not easy, but I'm there for that reason, to give you a push.
Yeah.
Make sure Dan is working hard.
Yeah. No. It should be very interesting. Just the result.